was one gunshot to set Europe on the path to all-out war.
Now, we've all seen a lot about the centenary of the First World War this year, but hand on heart, how many of us can explain exactly why it happened?
Well, here's Dan on the beach to help you out.
On the 28th of June 1914, on a side street in the city of Sarajevo, an assassin shot a man and his wife in the back of a car. This single act of violence would shake the world. The target of the attack was Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the throne of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, one of the largest countries in Europe. This event triggered one of the bloodiest conflicts the world has ever seen. Now, to understand why, you need to know a little bit about the world in 1914. That's why I'm going to use my massive sand map to try and make sense of it all. When the heir to this Austro-Hungarian Empire had been assassinated, it threatened Europe's fragile peace. And that's because within days of the assassination, it turned out that rogue members of neighbouring Serbia's government had helped plan the assassination. Now, Serbia was a small country, an enemy of Austria-Hungary, because it resented its domination of this part of Eastern Europe. 30 days after the shooting, Serbia remained defiant, so Austria-Hungary declared war. Now, this could have just remained a little local war between two neighbouring countries, were it not for the interlocking network of treaties that bound together all the European states. Because Serbia had an ally, a big ally. In Serbia's corner was mighty Russia. Now, Russia and Serbia had a lot in common, same religion, same Slavic traditions. And Russia did not want the Austro-Hungarians dominating this part of Southeast Europe. So, to back up their mates, the Russians mobilised their massive army. With nearly 6 million men, Russia's army presented a terrible threat to the Austro-Hungarians. So Austria-Hungary called on her own ally, Europe's mightiest power, Germany. Across Europe, Germany's well-equipped and disciplined army was thought to be unbeatable. Now, 34 days after the Archduke's assassination, Germany declared war against Russia. Two more powers had joined the war. A few decades before, the Russians had been nervous about growing German strength. They looked around for an ally who could help them in the event of a war. And that ally was France, another one of Germany's nervous neighbours. The Russians and French had a deal. They'd support each other in the event of war. And that meant when Germany went to war against Russia, it was going to war against France too. So what did any of this have to do with Britain? In the previous decade, Britain had made a commitment to France that it would help them if the Germans attacked. Now, the Germans decide to smash the French first and then move all of their troops back over to the east to take on the slower-moving Russian juggernauts. To make the job of beating the French easier, rather than attacking straight into France, they decide to go around the side through Little Belgium. Belgium was a neutral country, and in yet another treaty, Britain had agreed to protect it. That meant 37 days after the assassination of the Archduke, Britain was at war with Germany. The massive global conflict would cause unimaginable destruction and sweep away the old map of Europe. It all began with the death of one man in a side street in a provincial backwater. And by the time it ended, over 16 million people had been killed.
Brilliant piece, that. I wonder how many
Dan.
times that's going to be replayed in history.